So, am I the only one that is like underwhelmed by this episode? Am I the only one that like doesn't care about the twist whatsoever? I am? Okay. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl MovieBae, and in this video I'm gonna be doing a review to Love Island USA season 7 episode 20. But before we get into it, I would like for you all to consider subscribing to the channel if you're new. Here on MovieBae I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television, and if that's the type of content you like, then you are in the right place, especially for Love Island. Here I do episodic reviews and weekly lives so we can talk about the tea inside and outside of the villa. So if that's something you're interested in, hit the subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell so you can be alerted when I upload. If you find yourself enjoying my commentary along the way, engage with the video. Give the video a thumbs up and leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below so we can talk about it. I'm gonna meet y'all down there, okay? And shout out to y'all once again, running up the views, running up the likes, running up the comments section. We be down there talking about it for real. We be getting into it for real. So I really appreciate y'all, and I can't wait to go live with y'all on Saturday so we can really talk about what's been going on this week, okay? Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this review. I feel like it's going to be short because, like I said, I didn't really. Yeah, my notes are like empty AF. So we're going to talk about the girls at Casa, and then we're going to talk about the guys back at the villa. All right, here we go. Elon and I don't know, Elon and Sierra, they have a conversation about past relationships and how it's important to have your independence in a relationship. You know, like it's one thing to be together, but it's another thing to still go out with family, go out with friends, and you basically don't lose who you are, even though you are in a relationship. And that is something I 100% wholeheartedly agree with. I try to preach it all the time because, you know, we all got like friends or family that when they in a relationship, it's like you don't even hear from them no more. And it's like it's important to keep your independence because you were somebody before them and you're going to be somebody after them as well. They also talk about, or Sierra mentions how her independence is very important to her because she doesn't need a man, she wants a man. And Elon actually concurs. Now, I personally agree with this statement. However, some of the men that I have dated state that this is a problem. They say that men need to feel needed because if you don't need me, what am I here for? I'm gonna go somewhere else where I'm needed. And yeah, so guys, especially my heterosexual viewers, heterosexual males, y'all let me know. How y'all feel about that? Between feeling needed and feeling wanted, because like I stated, that's been some issues in some of my past relationships. So I need to know y'all opinions, okay? Unbiased opinions. So Sierra says she can't help but compare her conversations with Elon to with Nick. And she says that she feels like the conversations with Elon's are a little more substantial. And I agree, sis, they are, because you and Nick, y'all talk about whale sperm and apex predators being the hippopotamus. Like y'all be talking about crazy goofy for real. And if y'all do talk about real stuff, it's not making the edit, okay? She stated that she might feel, I guess, kind of like a little bit inferior to Elon. I guess he's like intelligent. And I'm like, well, I guess it depends on what you want to be in the relationship. Do you want to be the smart one or you want to be the one that can learn? Because if you're into learning, stick with Elon. If you want to be the head in charge, stick to Nick. Okay, that's my personal advice. Now, Sierra, though, even though, first off, I applaud Sierra for, even though she is, you know, she all about Nick and she's missing Nick, she is still taking time to get to know the boys in Casa, unlike somebody I'm going to mention here soon. So she's giving her conversation, giving her time to Elon, and then she going to go break down and cry when she by herself. Sierra is feeling overwhelmed by the recoupling and the possible eliminations and thinking about what Nick is over there doing and something just don't feel right. I'm sick to my stomach, girl. Trust me, I've had that feeling before. As women, we know it's the female intuition. When you just feel sick to your stomach thinking about what could be happening because you know that it's happening. I feel you, Sierra. I do feel you. But like I stated, I still applaud you for being open enough to getting to know somebody else in Casa Amor. Okay, let's go ahead and go to Iris and Zach. How old is Zach, y'all? Where are my notes from yesterday? Zach, I don't know, but he got a roommate in Arizona. Okay. So he lives with his brother, And he stated that he has never lived alone before. And Iris says that she hates living alone. She will call her friends over just so they can cook dinner. And as a person who has never lived alone, like prior to, you know, when I moved out to my apartment, like I have a pretty moderate sized family. I have 3 sisters, mom, dad. So I grew up, you know what I'm saying, in the household. Then I went to college, had roommates, came back home, roommates, obviously, you know, siblings. And then I went back to college, had roommates, came back home, family. And then I moved out to my apartment. And when I did, it was like, I enjoyed having my own space, but I definitely got bored. Especially it was so weird when it's just so quiet and it's me. And now I have to have like idle noise. Like I would literally just YouTube playlists, like all my watch later, save for later. I would just have that playing in the background while I'm doing anything. It cannot be quiet because I never grew up in a quiet household. So I understand Iris, but I do feel like if you like in a relationship, that can kind of get a little bit smothery. But if she balances out between her partner and her friends and her family, then I think that that's a good balance. And both of them seem rich and they both seem to travel because they both want to go to Australia, and Zach has actually already been. So that's something. Okay. Adrina and Brian already cuddled up. A lot of the guys were blaming Jeremiah for moving too fast, similar to how he did with Huda. But I think Adrina, I think she's that type of person too. So no tea, no shade. The cycle probably would have been repeated, but not in a toxic way. Because Adelina don't get me insecure like Huda. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it would have been a healthy pace. You know, it might have been moving fast, but it wouldn't have been toxic. Okay. Speaking of Huda and Huda and JD have a conversation, and she was like, "Well, you know, I'm a mom." Yes. See how easy that was, Huda? Do you see how easy that was? Matter of fact, it was so easy because JD has actually dated a woman with kids before. So he used to be do the stepdaddy. He used to that. Okay, so it's not hard, sis. It's not as hard as you thought it would be. She also asked if he was crazy. I guess because he know you crazy, I guess it's fair to ask if he's crazy. Okay, that's fine. He was like, I'm not really crazy. Only like I'm like adventurous, you know, like when I do, and then when I'm with, and then when we do, and then we like. And I was like, what are you talking about, mush mouth? What the, you know what I'm saying? No, we don't know what the hell you talking about. And I know Huda was like, no, I don't know what the hell you talking about, because what are you saying? When I tell you, I rewound that part like 3 times. Subtitles, no subtitles. I said, where are the closed captions? I don't understand what the hell he talking about. Was he talking about in the bed? Nigga, just say in the bed. Like, what is wrong with you? What's wrong with him? He a little awkward. He might be a little special. And he be really trying to press this Spanish. What did he say when he brought them breakfast? He said, Buenos dias. I said, boy, you sound like me. Buenos dias. But in their conversation, JD stated that he was surprised by how calm Huda was and how she is taking accountability for her actions. And I said, that must didn't make the edit, because I didn't see any accountability being taken whatsoever during that conversation. None whatsoever. Shelly and Chris didn't get an edit this episode, but we did see them in the background laughing a lot. So I think that she's feeling Chris. By the way, Chris, because I heard that yeah, y'all know what I heard. So he real hot girl bitch. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the quote unquote love triangle, minus the love. Olandria, Amaya, and my baby Zach. Yeah. So y'all know Zach is coupled up with Olandria. And the biggest issue this particular episode was how slow Olandria burns. Olandria has been saying since week 1 she's a slow burn, whoop-de-whoop, and then she finds herself pressing Taylor for a kiss, finding out that he a slow burn too. Like, okay, girl, I don't know. Something about Olandria is very contradictory to me, because how are you a slow burn and then you pressing Taylor to be more affectionate, and then you kissing Jalen multiple times, but when my baby Zach try to get some play, no, I'm just playing. I would never do that. But Zach said he ain't got a week. He need to figure out if they got a connection right now. Okay. But he's respecting, you know, her boundaries of not wanting to kiss outside of a challenge. Speaking of though, Zach, I think it is weird to ask for a kiss in the middle of a conversation where we're not talking about kissing. Like, I don't mean, it gotta just come naturally. When it's outside of a challenge, it needs to come naturally. And a lot of people on Love Island do this. They be just, I would like a kiss now. Can I get a kiss? Like, what? I just told you my dog died when I was 10. Like, what are you, now you want a kiss? I don't know. The timing is weird. I will say that. However, yes, Olandria is conversing with Zach, but Olandria is not really open to Zach because every moment she gets a chance, she is telling us how much she miss her man. And girl, your man ain't even thinking about you. This whole episode, I just felt so bad for her because you all about him and he all about Coco and Clarky. Not even thinking about you. I mean, he thinking about you, but he ain't thinking about you at the magnitude that you thinking about him. He said, out of sight, out of mind, I need to give these girls a fair opportunity. And you over here not giving out any opportunities, knowing that there's a recoupling, knowing that there is an elimination. Can you make that make sense to me? Anyhow, so I keep wanting to call Zach Derek for some reason. He's giving Derek to me. Zach decides to, him and Amaya have a chat because, Amaya is single and she, at this point, is the one that would be eliminated if she doesn't try to get a connection. So Amaya talks to JD and JD is very comforting, tells her to be herself and let it out. Don't try to change yourself for nobody. I like JD. I feel like he's a nice guy. I mean, when you look like that, you better be. Sorry. Lo siento. Does he want to speak Spanish? Lo siento. I'm fucking stupid. Well, Maya has another conversation with Zach, and they don't really talk about much. But he does say that he appreciates her effort in getting to know him and in getting to know all the other guys in the villa. And then she asked for a kiss. And he was like, okay, we could do a little quick kiss or whatever. And he does ask her to keep it a secret. Now, I feel like he asked her to keep it a secret because in case I choose Olandria, I don't need to get around at me and you smooching. You know what I'm saying? Does give a little bit playery, but I kind of understand too because I need her to think that I'm all in so I can get back to this villa. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But, excuse me. Zach does also mention that he has more in common with Olandria. But Amaya is putting forth more effort. Okay, now let's go ahead and get into the recoupling ceremony. Olandria is eliminated because Zach decides that he wants to couple up with Amaya, and I honestly think that it is strategic because why would I couple up with somebody who's not giving me play when she away from her partner? When we get back to the villa, she definitely ain't gonna give me no play, and then I'm gonna be on the next car out of here, the next boat ride out of here. So I'm rather get with the girl who's single because she at least giving me play and I could get back to the villa and see who all over there. I think it was strategic and I think it was smart. And Olandria, I think you were dumb in this particular instance. I really do. Because when it comes to Love Island, this is when you start playing the game. This is when you start thinking strategic. When you are up for elimination, now it's time for you to pull your big brother pants on and start networking and making sure that you have some connections so you can stay in the house so you can make it back to your cowboy. That's how I feel about it. So she was all not crying, everybody else breaking down. I said, oh my God, I'm about to fast forward through this telenovela bullshit. Like, Jesus Christ, on a cracker. I just couldn't stand it. How are you not crying? Because I gotta be strong. Ain't nobody gonna cry for me. I gotta be strong. And granted, I can resonate. I just hate that rhetoric. I try so hard to not call Black women strong because why do we have to always be strong? No. So I understand where she's coming from. I just hate that rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you, sis, you don't always have to be strong. Feel your feels. Okay? So, boom. Olandria leaves the villa. Before we get into the guys, because this is really going to be quick for real, make sure y'all thumbs up the video. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Am I tripping? Like, were y'all upset that Olandria was eliminated? Because me, honestly, I didn't care. I really didn't. So let's go ahead and get to the guys villa. Okay. Let's talk about TJ. TJ is single, so he pulling Vanna and who else he pulling? Vanna and he tried to pull Grayson for a chat. Grayson shot him down. She said, "Baby, you was talking about my kiss. Not interested." Damn. Well, baby, learn how to kiss. I don't know. But I applaud TJ for trying. You know what? I applaud TJ for trying. Okay, even though I'm pretty sure he is not attracted to Vanna by any damn means. But I guess they both white and they got some type of money. So, okay, she's good enough for the time being. Wanna know why? Because TJ needs to make sure he stays in the house so he can reconnect with Iris. He's playing the game. This is when you need to play the game, to make sure that you stay in the house when it's an elimination night. Jesus Lord, it's really not rocket science. It's really not. Jaden and Austin, they make me feel stupid every time they have a conversation. Matter of fact, Jaden is the female Austin. Jaden is definitely the female Austin, because even when she was talking to Nicholas, I was like, why she talk like that? She might be a little delayed, a little indigested or something. I hate how she talks, and please eliminate her as soon as possible. Okay. Grayson and Pepe didn't get any screen time this particular episode, and you know Ace wasn't gonna stay down for long. Jealous Ace had to steal Taylor girl. He made it clear, I'm still talking to everybody. I'm pulling everybody for a chat. I ain't seen no everybody. I saw Coco. You saw Taylor had 2 bitches and you wanted one, and you went for Coco, the bitch. They both talked about how, you know, being in LA and bonding over being creative. But Taylor doesn't seem to mind, because I feel like he's has more chemistry with Clark. So the conversation was flowing. He said similar to how it could just flow naturally with Alandria. So I guess he could be himself around Coco. But honestly, I feel not Coco, Clark. But I honestly feel like I've never seen Taylor talk, smile, or laugh as much while talking to Alandria, and I know that y'all feel the same way. He also is throwing out compliments left and right. She talked about how she tried to curl her hair, but the curls fell, and he was like, "Oh, it's okay. It still look good. It looked good when you walk down here. You look good tonight. You wearing my favorite color." Like, he don't talk up to Alandria like that. My Taylandria fans. Okay, Alandria, I miss my man. Your man straight said that it would be unfair for me to not give these women a fair chance, to give myself a chance. So while he over there exploring, you over there shutting down, and you then got your ass sent home because you thinking about, I'm gonna have my cowboy. It's okay, I'm gonna get my cowboy. It ain't gonna be Taylor. It ain't gonna be Taylor. And I'm trying not to be mean, but it's just like, I would hate for her to be embarrassed, because to me, this was a very embarrassing edit. It really was. Yeah. And I feel like we've all been there. All about a dude or all about a girl who was not all about us. And it's embarrassing. And I hate that for her. I think it just makes me upset how we have to be missing something. I saw a TikTok where somebody caught her ironing his pants. I was like, hell no. Like, what are we missing? Why is she really all about him like this? Like, I don't know. Like I said, it's just embarrassing, and I hate that. I hate that for her. I really, really do. So in this particular recoupling, Coco decided to go for Ace, leaving Taylor single, and then Clark decided to go with Taylor, leaving Nick single. And Nick was hoping that Jaden stood up for him, but she sat right there with her Trumpy, which means Nick is single, vulnerable, and eliminated from the island. I said, ooh, poetic justice, put it in a song. All right, in the thundering rain. Because one thing Casa did to the 3 Powder Puff girls, is it humbled them. Taylor came in and got 2 bitches, while Ace ended up with that. Humbled. Nick thought that he had Jaden up under his spell. Nobody chose him. You're eliminated. Humbled. Y'all thought that y'all was running plays in it? Yeah, nobody's safe up in this. which means Olandria and Nick are the ones that are indeed going home this episode. However, we are presented with a twist that Olandria pulled up to the villa and told Nicholas to come on, get in, hurry. And he runs in there with his mother in suitcase. And it goes off. We don't get a preview. There's no episode on Wednesday. So we got to wait till Thursday to see what this twist is about. But like I stated, I don't really care. I think they tried to entice us. It worked for some people. It didn't work for other people. But you know what? I am happy that Olandria is still around because I want her to see movie night. I want Huda to see movie night. I need them to see the crack. I need them to see the toxicity. I need them to see that he's just not that into you. I need them to see Huda's little lies. I need them to see Nick and Ace talk about, oh, I love Olandria and all, but Taylor, you seem much happier. Da, da, da. I need to see when Olandria gets back to the villa and see Taylor coupled up with Clark. I need to see these things. So I am happy that she gets to stay around for that. I will say that. Okay. Well, you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning into my YouTube channel. Be sure you hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy my commentary. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. I don't think I have anything else left to say. So I will see y'all on Thursday. Bye.